Hello and welcome to Heardit, a podcast all about Reddit. My name is Will.
And my name is Sam. I'm the co-host of Reddit. Of Heardit, not Reddit.
Brilliant. Okay, standard sort of intro then. It's completely ruined. What do we normally talk about? We've drank a little bit more than we normally do. Okay.
Yeah.
Today, we're going to be talking about PettyRevenge.
Yes.
You're someone you're extremely petty.
Who, me?
Big time.
Okay,
right. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to look through PettyRevenge. If you've not listened to the podcast before, then basically what we do is we take a subreddit and we just chat through the top posts from the last week within that subreddit. And that's kind of what we've settled into a little bit. We didn't plan that, but it's...
That's what the people want.
That's what they want, yeah. And talking about what the people want, mate, we've got a couple
what the person wants.
We've got a couple of things to discuss before we get into it.
Yeah.
Now, I've got to be honest. I've just realised we should have spoken about this before we started actually talking about the person. I don't know how to say his first name or, in fact, his second name.
Okay, well, give it a shot.
It's Dion.
Dion.
Dion. Let's not give away his second name.
No.
Sorry, Dion. I do, in fact, love you, but I've got no idea how to pronounce that name. Why do you know how to pronounce that? Because you can speak Spanish.
I spoke to him on the phone last night.
Right, okay.
For about 6 hours.
Also, I don't know where he's from. I've gone with Spain.
Well, Mas, I actually think is a Spanish...
Brilliant, there's a second name. Right.
Sorry.
What were you going to say anyway? Just say what you were going to say.
I think Mas is like a Spanish avocado. It's like a type of avocado.
Actually?
Yeah.
So his name's Dion Avocado. Nice to meet you. Avocado? Oh, don't take the piss out of him. He's a good lad. Something like 200 people have listened to the podcast that we last put up. No, 100. Anyway, they put up, and only one legend replied, and it was Dion. What did he say? You could tighten up the tangents because they go on for too long.
Yeah, before we start, showering him with praise.
Yeah, he did have
He essentially just completely demolished the concept of the podcast.
But he also said, I love it. And did he use those words? He said, I like it, and I will listen to the next one. So that's all we asked for, Dion.
So something I wanted to just quickly establish, Dion is the first member of the Heardit army.
Big time.
To reach out to us. But I wanted to just, what term are we going to use to describe our listeners? It's not the Heardit army. No.
That's what I mean. But I don't actually know. Like,
I've got a few suggestions.
Nah.
Hearditors.
Because Redditor.
Yeah. That's kind of the one that makes most
Probably
sense.
the
but
safest
it's kind of boring.
One. Yeah.
The herd. I like that.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's obviously my favourite. Are you coming up with these on the spot?
Yes.
Wow, you've got a talent.
And that's all I've got so far. Yeah. Okay. T-shirts available.
Yeah, they are available
soon. Hopefully.
They're only available in extra large, extra large. So apparently our fans are all massive losers, but not that fat people are losers. I'm a bit fat. And although I am a bit of a loser.
Yeah.
So, right. Is that sort of any other business?
Well, actually, the subreddit. So we've decided on what we're going to do with the subreddit, just very quickly. I reached out to the guy that owns /r/Heardit podcast, and basically he said he was going to give us a subreddit. He has since not replied to a single one of my messages, and I've been very persistent.
Something you were a little bit worried about when we just went to the pub was that he maybe listened to you slagging him off.
Yeah, because on the last episode I did say that his podcast was shit.
Which?
Yeah,
but he sat there going, it was for a school project.
Yeah, I thought he was basically telling me it was shit. I didn't realise he was going to take it so personally and not give us a subreddit. But anyway, what we've kind of decided on, we will just keep messaging this moderator, and eventually he will add either Will or myself as a moderator to that subreddit.
He's going to do it.
And we will gain control of his content, and we'll just delete all his...
Gosh.
Just want to... We'll just own up, because just rip the plaster off. Just do it.
I just want to apologise, okay?
Yeah. Okay. Because it's really
to
bad.
Absolutely fucking nobody. Oh no, I want to do that again. Yeah, no. Basically, I said .co.uk and it's actually .com.
Yeah.
Sam, you said you were going to buy the domain. Did you? Nope.
No.
So there you go. So we've got .com. In the last episode, I actually said .co.uk was our podcast website address. It's actually heardit.com.
Hearditpodcast.com.
Hearditpodcast.com for fucking hell. Hearditpodcast.com. And Dion, I know you said less tangents, but 8 minutes later and we're still chatting away. So we've only actually got half an hour until Dave will come in here and kick us out. So should we get cracking?
How big is this subreddit, just for context? Because again, I'm not same with the last episode, I'm not particularly familiar with this subreddit, PettyRevenge.
Yeah, no, neither am I. So the only reason I actually found this subreddit this week was because it's been trending. On the right-hand side, I don't know if it's always been there, but nowadays you get the subreddit on the right-hand side of Reddit now that basically tells you what subreddits are the most popular from that last week.
Yeah.
Or from all time, or whatever you choose. I'm pretty sure, I don't know. But anyway, so I saw PettyRevenge, and I thought that sounded perfect, really. Something that we would really, really
that
enjoy.
Does sound perfect, yeah.
So this first one, it's pretty funny. I'm interested to see what you think about it.
Let's go.
My ex-boyfriend, all one word, hate you already, is going to drive 2 hours to a concert just to not get in.
Is that the title?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this was 2 days ago, and this is actually the top post of all time on PettyRevenge.
What?
And I think that's maybe why it's trending. But anyway,
yeah.
So I broke up with my boyfriend around 2 months ago, just after his birthday. All right. I got him VIP tickets, and if anyone doesn't know, that is very important person.
Yeah.
Is it?
You're going to be shaking hands. You're going to be taking selfies with someone.
That's a joke. Everyone knows what VIP is. Concert tickets for both of us to go see some rap guy. He really loves rap. The venue is like a 2-hour drive away from where we live. Naturally, we're not going to go anymore after we broke up, obviously.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot about the tickets and wrote them off as money lost since I can't sell them because you need my ID along with the tickets to get in. In brackets, that's going to be important. But this morning, a mutual friend of us texted me asking me if I know about him still going to the concert. Apparently, he booked a hotel room for him and his new girlfriend near the venue and is planning on enjoying the concert with her. Only problem now is the ID thing. But I was feeling generous, so I want to send him a copy of my ID and give the venue a heads up to let them know it was alright for him to use my tickets. So I texted him, telling him our mutual friend told me he's going to the concert. Blah, blah.
Okay.
I nearly knocked over my beer there. Sorry, I'm sort of very distracted.
Yeah, you're very fidgety, aren't you?
I know. But before I could even get to the part of where he needs my ID to get in, he already told me to mind my own goddamn business and to go fuck myself.
Oh.
And a handful of other surprisingly creative insults. And we'd quite like to hear the creative insults.
Come on, spill.
Wasn't really in the mood to get insulted, so I just wished him a great time at the concert and blocked him. Have fun driving 2+ hours to a concert you're not getting into, buddy. Smiley face.
And that's it.
There are some edits, but
well, I mean, come on. I think most importantly here, we don't know why they split up. You know, she broke up with him. Why is he reacting so aggressively? Maybe she broke his heart.
Well, that's an interesting thought actually, because if you were the one that broke up with the other person, and just he's got a new girlfriend, but you broke up with him, so
just let him get on with it.
Yeah, let him enjoy.
But something that I'm holding on to here is this is the most upvoted post of all time on the subreddit. Yeah. So I'm hoping that these edits are going to be straight fire.
Well, okay.
Because to me that's
we all hope a lot of things, don't we?
To me that's
they don't always come true.
I suppose that is a very petty form of revenge. I suppose
it is very petty,
but it's it's
pretty brutal on the new girlfriend as well because she's done thing.
Yeah.
So the first edit, Jesus, this blew up.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for the awards and stuff. Bloody, 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 blah. All that shit. I'm not even going to read it. It's boring. Talk to the venue and the ticket is flagged, so it won't scan and he'll have to present an ID, so it doesn't matter if they initially check for IDs. Okay. Apparently it's important which rapper is. It's an Austrian rapper named Dame.
Right. So
it's the big boys.
Yeah.
The tickets have been sold out for weeks now. Okay. I'm not jealous of him or his new girlfriend. In fact, I'm happy if things work out for them so he can finally stop harassing me and stalking me on social media. Interesting. But how do you know he's stalking you?
Yeah.
I wanted to give him the copy of my ID as some form of okay, take this, but then leave me alone gift, which we've all given one of them.
Yeah, okay.
Because I know I would have gotten tons of shit and be called a bitch for not telling him beforehand. So I thought I'd be nice and just let him have a good evening. Right, before I finish that edit, you are not being nice.
Yeah, you're doing the bare minimum.
You're doing the bare minimum. Apparently that's a crime now. Question mark. I don't know. But I now realise there's no need for me to be nice to him anymore. I'm done being his doormat. Yeah.
Oh, spicy.
So, there's a couple more edits there, but I want to touch on something which is her sort of it's almost as if she doesn't realise that actually there were two people in that relationship, Sam.
Yeah.
And you broke up with him. You know, just put your pride to the side.
Yeah.
Forget all of that shit.
Be the bigger person.
Be a good person. Yeah, exactly. You know, sometimes you just got to try and take yourself out of the situation and just accept that life isn't perfect. You're going to break up with people. There's no reason to make that an excuse to be a bad person.
Yeah. I mean, what is the general vibe of Petty Revenge? Is it people? Are they always the good guy, or I don't know? Like,
oh, I'm Sam. I love Reddit. Oh, last week, I've not fucking heard of the subreddit, mate. This week, not fucking heard of it, mate.
I'm basically like a Reddit normie. Okay. I'm like
stalker.
Have you heard of TikTok? That's really good.
Okay. So, yeah. I think the point is there's petty revenge.
And the more
petty,
is, the better.
The more you should upvote it. It's a bit like awful advice or whatever it's called.
Oh, yeah.
It's like you upvote the worst advice you've ever seen. And in this, I think it's you upvote the pettiest thing you've ever seen.
That makes sense.
And that is quite petty. But let's finish it. So she's basically saying she'll update us again, but that's going to be for a while. Okay, she got some quite interesting insults thrown her way.
Wow.
To the nice people that send me literal death threats, call me a bitch over PMs. Honey, who hurt you? You all are crazy.
Yeah, that's not cool.
So I've got a little comment here from her.
Oh, go on then. Oh, from her again. I want to get into the other comments.
Okay.
What are people saying about
She's
her?
basically saying, look.
She's being very defensive.
She's saying, trust me, he can't fucking get in. Because people are going, he can do this. Like, he can get his image. He can do this, which is fucking cringe. And he can't, all right? She's told you he can't, so he can't. And she said, no, he cannot. So... Oh my goodness, I was about to read out a comment. I just realised it was about that again. Okay. It was literally someone going, couldn't he just call the venue? The best part about this, his new girlfriend is going to find out that his big special date that he planned for her was just leftovers from his last relationship, and she's going to be pissed. Women typically hate disingenuous shit like that. We have no idea what he's told his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sam, I'm infuriated. Yeah. I don't know if you can tell. I'm like Gordon Ramsay when someone's just forgotten the lamb sauce.
Yeah, we also have no idea what the new girlfriend's like. Maybe the new girlfriend is not petty.
Yeah, and maybe this guy was a dick to his old girlfriend. Yeah. And maybe this new girlfriend's come in and really, had a positive impact on his life.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm frustrated at this post. Didn't I tell you before we started that it was a bit of a sort of hit and miss?
Yeah.
I think it's just that people are... There's a funny balance between it's good because it's petty revenge, but actually you're a fanny.
Yeah.
And like, so the comments...
It's petty, yeah.
Yeah. Like, this person's trying to say, call the venue and say, don't let him use my tickets, which is just mental.
Yeah.
So essentially the vibe of that is, it's petty, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. 100%. It's the most petty thing I've ever heard.
I don't think I can't even imagine. Seriously, I know it's not the worst thing in the world, but... If I broke up with my girlfriend and I'd got her tickets for her birthday, they must have really, really had problems because I'd find it very strange.
Yeah, you'd feel a bit bad, right?
Yeah, and even if she had a new boyfriend, I mean, it'd be awkward, but it's like, well, I broke up with her. She's got to live her life, This is the issue, I think, with petty revenge. As I just said, it's like, well, it's a good petty revenge post, but it's not. To be a good post, you've got to be a bit of a dickhead.
Yeah.
Because it
How
says
many
petty.
Subs has that subreddit got?
600,000.
Oh,
so it's pretty big. It's almost as big as our podcast.
Almost.
Okay, so this one is got a platinum and a gold, and the title is so you want to snoop on your daughter's texts.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm married to a wonderful woman. She's smart, funny, and very kind. Didn't mention her appearance. She's probably a solid 3. Her mother is generally very nice and tends to have a great attitude and be very enjoyable. Bit of a prude, but generally enjoyable. I find it strange to call people enjoyable, personally.
Yeah, or
you're enjoyable. I enjoy you.
Yeah.
Get fucking away, you creep. However, can be a bit of a major snoop. If my wife leaves her phone sitting around, the mum will just pick it up and start going through it. My wife
that's not odd.
It's mental. My wife has kind of laughed this off as a remnant of her mum being controlling when she was a kid. Do you think your girlfriend ever looks at your phone?
Fucking hope not. Put it that way.
Filth on there, isn't it?
I change my password daily.
It's 14 characters long as well, isn't it?
Yeah. No, she genuinely doesn't. Like, I know she doesn't. What about you?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
If she did...
Would you be angry?
No, not really, because ultimately there's nothing on there.
Yeah.
But if she did look, it's just more the fact that you'd be like, oh, come on, like...
don't you trust me?
And I really, really, really don't look at her phone, ever.
Yeah, no, genuinely, I've never considered... I mean, the main reason I wouldn't want my girlfriend looking at my phone is because I have a tendency to do like really embarrassing voice recordings.
To yourself?
Yeah, just like little. If I come up with a little ditty, or or like a tune, I'll just record it on my phone.
Just
and also, if I've got any ideas around like anything, I'll just record it. Like Sam, next week, can you maybe think about something like that, like
Captain's log. So it's September 2019.
Yeah. And the thought and the idea that she would listen to that is just mortifying. So.
I don't think most people sort of naturally though go on someone else's phone and then just find their way in the recording section. Yeah. That's really funny, by the way. I've got a couple of pretty
hundreds of
recordings.
them.
There's a couple of like videos of me which I would, if anyone found them, it would.
Are those the ones where you're in your underwear? Or?
Not those ones. Those were extra top secret when you weren't supposed to mention those. Those were just for you, and you paid me for them, so I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, okay. Let's not get too distracted. Sorry, Dion. So basically, he's not happy with this. Obviously, if you remember, the mum was looking at the phone, and he's saying that I'm not a fan of this. Yeah. Because my wife and I will sometimes text about things that simply don't involve her mother, and I don't feel are her business at all. I mean, I'd imagine 90%, 99% of what you talk about, even more, is not going to be about her mother, and it's not her mother's business. Yeah. So over Christmas, I saw my wife set her phone down on the kitchen counter, and I had a brilliant idea. Her mum was still in the kitchen, and I sent my wife the most sexually depraved text about all the things I was going to do to her when everyone left. In brackets, honestly, most of them are things we haven't ever even done, but I had to make it extra scarring.
Right.
I sent this text from the bathroom, and maybe it was my imagination, but I could swear I could hear an audible gasp shortly after her phone went off. Gasp, by the way, mate, is not spelled G-H-A-S-P.
Oh, He's trying to be smart there.
He's gone shit. She's probably gasping at your fucking spelling, mate. Oh. There's been a few errors in here. Zing. When I went out, her mother absolutely would not look me in the eye.
Yeah.
Then not so discreetly asked her daughter to come to talk to her in the other room. When my wife came back into the living room, I thought she had been crying. However, upon closer inspection, she was laughing. Her mother had questioned her about me sexually abusing her.
What?
And if I always talk down to her like that. My wife had told her kindly that what we do is between us and us only. Probably the best Christmas gift.
Yeah, so in that situation, the wife needs to fucking grab that by the reins, you know what I mean? And just be like, put a code on the phone and be like, look, mum, this is not cool. Like, my husband doesn't like it. But if she's not doing that, then it kind of makes you think, well, why isn't she doing that? Does she kind of like the fact that she knows that the mum's
interesting? You
know, I'm just trying to like analyze these people because
she likes the comments that he's made. Actually, she's into it.
Well, also she kind of likes the fact that her mum is seeing everything that they're talking about. You know, maybe it's like an extra security. It's like,
oh, you think the daughter likes it?
Yeah,
really?
She's like, don't fuck me about it because my mum's, you know, watching this. It's like that's what I'm taking from it.
Absolute filth.
Yeah.
Do you remember last week there was that conversation about that girl whose parents or her fiance's dad and his family had to check her out downstairs? Sorry, that's just popped into my head again, and I've thought about that like about 10 times this week. That was it. It just popped right into my head, and I was like, that was genuinely a bit mental, wasn't it? Like, that was a bit scary.
My mum has to check my phone. My fiance's parents poking my hymen.
That's the top comment. Yeah, well, my fiance's dad. Someone said, I love that she didn't deny doing those things, just told her mother it was none of her business what you two did, thus preserving the mental scarring. She definitely probably told her that. She's come through and been like, look, I just said to her, Mum, it's none of your business, but that's bullshit. She was probably like, absolutely not. Because if he genuinely was rude and insulting and sort of demeaning in the text, you wouldn't want your mum to think that your husband's a wanker, would you? So,
no.
Yeah. But this is kind of what I mean about these. Like, they're all a little bit weird.
Yeah, they're all just like, well, the perfect word to describe them is petty.
Someone said she should password protect the phone anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Which is so true. And then there's a comment underneath. I never used to lock my phone because I didn't really think I'd care if someone went through it. Sorry, but that is moronic. Your phone is full of so much personal information. I never used to lock my phone because I didn't really think I'd care if someone went through it. Then one day my phone fell out of my pocket as I leapt over a puddle. Listen, we all like to leap over puddles, okay? You do whatever you like. And an hour or so later, when I realised it was gone, I went to the Android device manager and saw that it was in a neighbouring city.
Ooh.
It occurred to me that the person had access to my email, and that's basically the skeleton key that unlocks literally everything in my life.
Yeah.
Very, very true.
Very true.
Single thing that you sign up to with your email, if they've got your email, they can get your password.
They can get your password, yeah.
They can reset your password.
Yeah.
To your banking app, PayPal. Oh my goodness.
You're actually giving me anxiety right
I'm
now.
frustrated
Where's
because
my phone?
put a password on your phone.
Oh my god.
Luckily, the Android device manager lets you lock the phone remotely, which is really cool.
Oh,
and
yeah.
even more luckily, the person who found it was a kind-hearted commuter who'd brought it home and let it dry out and returned it to me the next day. But yeah, that was a wake-up call, no pun intended. And I lock my phone now.
Yep.
I just don't really understand people that don't lock their phones.
No, I just think they're just being lazy. So.
Email in if you don't lock your phone. Seriously,
Yeah.
so, oh my god, talk to us.
Yeah,
Dion, if you want to message us.
Just Dion every week. I feel like we've taken Dion's advice and just completely ignored it.
Yeah, completely.
As well.
Also, we've got 8 minutes left.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Right.
Dave was late.
What I just want to say here is I do not get this subreddit. Like I don't get the appeal.
Didn't I say before we started today?
You were like, this is going to be a weird one.
A weird one, yeah.
Yeah.
But I also think that if it's like the third most popular sub of the past week,
Yeah.
we should talk
I mean, how many
about
upvotes did that first submission get?
the very first one.
Yeah. Because you said it was one of the most popular submissions of all
It's
time.
the most popular.
Yeah.
It's 52,500.
I mean, that's fucking mental. All she did was basically like not send him a bit of ID. Like what?
It's
That is
really
mental.
not that crazy, is it?
No, but
That's what I mean, though, is that like
yeah,
she's like blah 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 blah, and it's like it's got nearly 52,000, right?
yeah,
Roughly, and it's like, well, what actually happened in there? Really?
yeah.
She booked her boyfriend a ticket, and then she made him drive 2 hours. I get that,
Well,
but
she basically the thing is she just did nothing. That's the thing. Like she instead of doing something, she just did nothing. So it's like her neglect.
exactly, it's not like she's done something really creative.
Yeah, it's not
and
like
interesting.
yeah, exactly. There's nothing creative about this revenge. It's like, oh, I'm just not gonna do that.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay.
Are you
upvote.
the ex-boyfriend?
Oh
'Cause
yeah,
you're getting-
yeah. And you know what? My new girlfriend, she's fucking lovely. Actually,
She really wanted to see that Austrian
yeah,
rapper.
Austrian rapper,
Dame. Yeah, still got that up there. Right, we've got one more.
Oh, thank God.
Something that Dion also said was that the podcasts were too fucking long.
Yeah, actually, Dion.
He didn't say effing, but he did say they were too long. It's quite funny how our podcasts have been a mess every single time, and yet this one has managed to be the biggest mess of all of them.
Yeah, yeah.
Take my parking spot that I just dug out. Fine, I'll bury your car.
Oh, this is more like it.
This happened a couple of years ago. It snowed a bunch, and so I went out to clear a spot for my boyfriend at the time for when he got home from work. We were going to a concert that night, and it was going to take us roughly 2 hours to get there, and his ex-girlfriend had gotten the tickets. I'm joking. It took you so long to realise what I was talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I went out to clear a spot for my boyfriend at the time for when he got home from work. He's a police officer. I spent a while digging it out, and as I was finishing up, some girl drove up and parked in it while I was still shoveling it, which is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, what?
The balls on her.
Dick move.
I told her that I just dug it out, intending to use it, and asked her to move, and she didn't. She then got out of her car and walked away. Turns out she lived 2 buildings down, so she normally wouldn't park there anyways. Saw her later trying to dig out her car. Turns out she didn't have a shovel. So naturally, because I'm petty, I went out and reshoveled the sidewalk from the lot up to our building, and then threw all of the snow on her vehicle while I did it. Then went inside and took my shovel with me. Edit, emphasis added for people who don't get why I was so petty. Edit 2, thanks for the gold. And edit 3.
Do you know what this? Right, go for edit 3.
Answers to questions for clarification. I only mentioned BF was a cop to justify why he was at work during all the snow, which is why I was digging him out a spot. Also, the spot was between 2 other cars, so she couldn't even walk along the side of her car to get to the door.
There's a point here that I just want to cover. So she said that she was telling this woman that she was digging out the spot for the parking space, and then the woman got out the car. So was she shouting at this woman through the car? Was she going?
She turned.
That's what the other woman was hearing.
She's just
And
smiling
she was just
and
seeing
nodding.
a mental woman with a spade. She was like, and she was like, okay.
She's actually banging on the window at this point, using a shovel. No, but to be fair, she by the sounds of things, she did speak to her first. This is one that I kind of don't mind.
Okay.
Because what's happened is it's snowy as fuck.
Yeah.
She's dug out, and it's taken her a while, and her husband's a fucking police officer. I hope he's one of the fucking good ones. And she said, I'm going to dig him out, I'm going to do him a favour, and some mug has come in and parked in it. Do you know what? She kind of deserves to spend a bit of extra time. She's taken away 20 minutes, half an hour away from this woman who was shoveling for her husband. So shouldn't she be, forced to have some sort of inconvenience? Because she would never have had that parking space in the first place. She would have had to get out of her car. She'd have had to dig it out. So fuck that bitch.
Yeah.
Turns out she's actually, she's a mental health worker. She's incredibly important to them. No, but you know what I mean? Like, I just fuck people like that. That does annoy me.
But also, do you always think that the solution is just be petty and get that attitude in general? Like, if somebody's being a dick, then don't try and match them on being a dick. Just try and be better than them, so that when they go to bed that night, they think there's a difference between being ignorant, which potentially this woman was, where she didn't actually realize, like potentially she didn't realize.
Maybe.
And there's a difference between deliberately being a dick as well, I think, which is why I'm struggling with this subreddit. I'm just like, what are people getting from this? Like that to me, that's not satisfying, because
I agree. Do you know what? I do agree.
Yeah.
I agreed with the other two, as in I disagreed with their approach in the other two posts. Although the one with his mum was kind of funny. Like, he shouldn't have done that.
That's justified because the mum is like out of order. That's like,
she shouldn't be snooping.
No.
And bless up to Snoop Dogg.
Snoopy.
But yeah, no, this one, I don't know why. It does annoy me a little bit. We're all trying to get along and we're just trying to crack on, and for Christ's sake, can you just respect the sort of unwritten rules that society has? And don't take my fucking spot. I'm here with a spade. And like, what's she going to have to do? She's going to come out and she's not going to have to do any more work than the woman did originally to clear the parking spot for her husband. So fuck her. She should come out and she should do the work to clear the spot, shouldn't she?
I don't know, man.
Because if she didn't do the work, there would be no spot. If that woman didn't exist and she wasn't there clearing the parking spot for her husband, there would be no spot. That's the point. It's covered in snow. So she's come in and just gone, I can do what I want, basically. It's like in the queue for Sainsbury's or something. If someone skips in front of me in the queue, I do nothing about it.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck you for skipping the queue, because you knew I wouldn't do anything about it.
Well, I probably would do something about it.
What would you do there?
I would just go, oh, sorry, mate, I'm...
Oh, yeah. Big time. But what if they're like 6'9", pissed, bit scary looking?
And actually, that's the one thing that we haven't established here as well. So I was walking today, and I walked past the primary school, past the gate, and there was about 5 primary school kids there. They were probably 10 to 12 years old. One of them threw a bottle of water over the fence.
At you? What? Really?
Yeah. And
holy shit! Just went, "Oi, you big tall prick!"
Yeah. And in my head, I was like, "What?" And so I turned around as I was walking, and I looked the boy square in the eyes, and I was just like, I wanted to do something about it. At the same time, I was like, "Nah, just keep walking." And as I was walking away, he really loudly shouted out what it says on the back of my t-shirt, and all his mates started pissing themselves. I was like,
you got mugged off by a primary school kid.
I genuinely got mugged off. So the next time I see that kid, I'm gonna fucking deck him.
How tall are you, honestly? 6'5"?
6'5", yeah. Got a good swagger.
yeah.
I look hard.
I would love to see 6'5" bloke.
Yeah, and I had
just uppercut, bosh. Not laughing anymore, are you?
Yeah.
Huh? Here's your water, mate. Waterboarding him.
Waterboarding. They've just shouted abuse at me and thrown a bottle at me, a bottle of water, albeit. But
yeah, well, it could have been
the best way to react to that is not to turn around and go, "Hey, you little shit, don't do that again." The best way to react to that is be like, laugh it off, you know.
The absolute best way to react to it is turn around before the water hits you, grab it in the air, and then go, hey.
Snap it on your knees.
Yeah, and go, hey. And then they'd be fucking...
Or just chug it.
Do you know what, though? I do... Yeah, chugging it's funny. I actually saw... You know that guy, right? And this is a weird... I'm not a massive fan of his at all. In fact, I wouldn't even say I'm a fan. But you know Steve Aoki?
Yes.
He's the guy that throws the cake in people's faces at the concerts.
Uh-huh.
So I couldn't even tell you one of his songs, but I did watch a video of him where someone threw an entire pint of beer at him. It kept like maybe 2/3 of the pint in the pint.
Wow.
And it didn't have very far to go. And he just snatched it out of the air and he just chins it and then he puts it down. And obviously like 99 people out of 100 are there for him, so they loved it. And I was like, that's probably the greatest moment of his life. So if you had done that, that would have been the best way to do it.
Just chin the water, yeah.
I can't believe that happened.
But the thing is, you know, if I was to then do something really petty in response to that, I don't think I would feel good about it. I feel better about the fact, actually, that I just walked away.
You were the bigger man, yeah.
Yeah, I just
literally and figuratively.
Well, I just kind of went like, oh, they're just kids, you know. I just walked away, and now I can sit here and go, oh, they had their fun, and yeah. But then the only reason we get annoyed is because we take ourselves too seriously. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe that's just...
Well, maybe they don't take themselves seriously enough. Yeah. Have you ever thought about that? Just got a bad vibe off these little fuckers.
So how do you rate that subreddit then? Are we ever going to revisit it?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I think maybe.
I might close my Reddit account actually.
Yeah, if people like it. Anyway, I think that's about it. We don't really have a sort of streamlined way to close off the podcast. But before we finish, he's off.
DJ Swallow.
Alex, you're a legend, mate. And Dion, you're a legend too, I guess.
And we've taken everything on board.
Yeah. I don't know you, Dion. But yeah, I think that's it, mate. Unless you've got anything to say.
Nope, that's it.
Can I ask you how you rate the posts?
Terrible.
Brilliant. Okay. Yeah. So glad I spent my lunch hour doing that. Something like 1 in 3 people make it this long. Okay. So appreciate you listening for this long, and we will get the next episode up as soon as we can.
As soon as we can.
As soon as we can.
As soon as we can.